How do you prepare for a disability hearing if you are representing yourself? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and I represent clients in all 50 states, from Maine to California. And I will tell you at the outset, I think it's not a great idea to represent yourself in front of a disability judge, simply because if you're not familiar with the process, it goes by pretty quickly. The hearings are somewhat formalized, meaning the judge is going to ask for certain information that you may or may not have. You'll be asked to cross-examine a vocational witness. It's really not something to dabble in. You're better off getting an attorney if you can. But I realize some people don't want to get an attorney for whatever reason. They're trying to, by the way, there's no upfront cost. Attorneys like me, we do this on a contingency, 25% of past due benefits, but maybe you couldn't find an attorney to handle your case. Maybe you felt the case was strong enough you didn't want to risk or give up 25% of your past due benefits. And again, I understand that. Some people just want to do it on their own. Like I said, I think it's better not to go that route, but if you do, I wanted to give you some tips as to how to do it, so that at least you'll have a decent chance at winning. Because again, my goal with this channel is to educate people about the disability process, and like I said, there are a percentage of people out there who will want to do it themselves, and if you do, I wish you all the best. I hope that it works out, because again, if you're deserving of benefits, then I don't think that the system being kind of opaque should be held against you, but unfortunately that's sometimes not the case. Okay. So I think that the first thing you want to do if you're representing yourself is to make sure that you have a copy of the current record. Now, generally speaking, Social Security will send you, or you may have to request it now, a CD that contains the medical records in your case, all the exhibit files. And this happens after the hearing office. They do what they call a workup. They work the file up. They divide the file into 6 sections, A, B, C, D, E, and F. You have available to you A, B, D, E, and F. Section C is for the judge. But the CD, which will be encrypted, and there's a formula to get the password for it, and it has to do with the initials of your first name, I think, and last 4 of your social, whatever. It'll tell you how to do it. But you can get the CD that will have all the records there. So I take a look at that and see what's there. Second thing and so and again, you also need to look at to see what is your date last insured. Are you still covered for SSDI benefits? Is your case an SSI case? That's important information to know. Is the onset date shown in the record what you meant it to be? Is all that information correct? Do they have your correct spelling and the correct social, all that stuff? You want to double check that. And then you want to look at the record and say, okay, what's missing here? Realize when you apply for a hearing, you request a hearing, there's nobody at Social Security to request medical records anymore. You've got to do it yourself. So if you requested a hearing 8 months ago, there'll be at least an 8 or 9 month gap in that file as to updated records. So the first thing you want to do when you get that CD is see what the last thing that they've got is. Is there anything else? And then request it and submit it to Social Security using the barcode that they give you. There's a piece of paper, it's got a barcode on it, and you basically put that on top of the medical record and you fax it in, or you can upload it in some cases. You get it to Social Security, it gets associated with your file. So you want to make sure that the record is updated. Maybe there's records that should have been in there from before that were not. So maybe there's old records that you want to get in there. Get those in. Maybe you can get a statement from a former coworker about the problems you were having at work, or a third-party statement of somebody who knows you. You can get that uploaded. So you want to make sure the record is as complete as possible. And then I think what I would tell you is, think about how you're going to testify. You want to be very, very specific about the things you can and cannot do. So you don't want to testify and say, I can't walk very far, or I can't sit very long. That doesn't help. You want the judge to know specifically, I can sit for 15 to 20 minutes. I can walk for half a mile or a quarter of a mile before I have to stop and rest. I have to take rest breaks every 3 to 4 hours for 40 minutes. You want to be very, very specific and avoid the generalities that people sometimes lapse into in conversation, because at a hearing, if you say, I can't sit very long, what does that telling the judge? It doesn't mean anything. You got to be very, very specific about that sort of thing. And I would write it out. I would actually write out little snippets of testimony to remind yourself, because you'll be a little bit nervous. Walking, 15 minutes, 8 to 9 minute break, 40-minute rest break every 2 hours, just so you can remember what you're going to tell the judge. If you have lifting restrictions, how much can you lift, and realize that a lot of judges will use a gallon of milk, which is 8 pounds, as kind of a starting point. Can you lift a gallon of milk? Occasionally, frequently, not at all. And just to have an idea of what those things are, the judge is going to ask you about physical activities, crouching, crawling, kneeling, stooping, climbing ladders, ropes, and scaffolds, working around hazardous equipment, respiratory ailments, respiratory irritants rather. All these are things that are in a functional capacity evaluation, which again, Social Security has its own version of it. Look at that and look at all the things that are in that form. What are your limitations accordingly, so that you can tell the judge about the limitations you've got. Does your record contain objective test results? If you've got a back case, do you have an MRI in there? If not, go get an MRI. You can get them now for $300 or $400. But you go into a back pain case without objective evidence, it's going to be really, really hard to win. You go into a heart pain or heart disease case without pulmonary function tests, going to be kind of hard to do. So you want to make sure you've got the objective testing whenever possible, and you really can testify very clearly about the issues you would have getting through a workday, an 8-hour workday, even a simple entry-level job. It's not about working your past work. It's about doing anything at all. So be prepared to talk about why you would not be a reliable employee at any type of job at all. I mentioned get coworker statements. That can be very persuasive to a judge. And really do your homework. And just, again, remember the definition of disability. If you remember nothing else about it, about this video or about preparing for a hearing, remember what you're trying to prove, and that is you don't have the capacity to be a reliable employee at any job because of a serious medical condition, a diagnosed medical condition that has lasted or is expected to last a full year or longer or result in death. And focus your preparation on that definition. That will give you the best shot at winning. Again, if you're going to do it yourself, I wish you the best. But the key to winning, I will tell you after doing a lot of hearings, is preparation, knowing what you're trying to prove, and making sure your testimony is clear and it addresses the specific issues, the vocational problems, the reason why you wouldn't be a reliable employee. That's what matters to Social Security, not your medical condition itself, but how your medical condition impacts your capacity to work. Keep that in mind. Your chances of success go way up. My name again is Jonathan Ginsberg. If you'd like to learn more about Social Security disability, obviously subscribe to this YouTube channel, look at some of the videos here. Visit my website, ssdanswers.com. I have a blog there. I've got a lot of free information there. I've got a free Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. I think it'd be worth downloading that. You can learn from that. And if you do decide you want a case evaluation, there's a form there. You can request one. I'd be happy to tell you what I think, no obligation. So if you can do this on your own, again, uphill battle, but I do wish you the best. And again, if I can be of help, please let me know. My name here, again, is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I do look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your survival kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.